What's going on, guys? Brother Rusher here, back with another video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. And today I'm a little late on this video. That's just because we had so much other stuff that had come out. Like they kind of like rapid fired everything at us. So I have not had a chance to do a rainbow showcase video for the AGL LR BROLY yet. So we finally got some time. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of hop in here and do this one. So BROLY here, let's take a look at my build. So we are link level 10. We are rainbowed out, obviously. Here's kind of the build that I went with. So I've got 9 additional, I've got 26 crit, and I got 9 dodge. So I put crit on him because he additionals a lot, is the best way to put it. The amount of additionals that he actually does is insane. And the reason why I put so much crit on there is because I want him to actually do damage when he gets these crits off, essentially. So that was the reason why I built mine like basically full crit. I know that he gets obviously crit and everything after he's transformed. However, in the base form, when he's out for as long as he is, I want all of those additionals that he's doing. I want all of them to crit, and do damage. So that's kind of the build that I ended up going with here. Let's hop into an event. We'll actually hop into the Supreme Magnificent Battle versus God Goku, just because this will be a great like showcase area for him, because that Goku is basically can only be hurt by extreme tech units, or not extreme tech, by tech units in general. So we'll be able to get BROLY out. We can get his domain active, and do a couple turns and see what kind of damage numbers we can get with him. So let's hop into that event real quick. All right, he still has probably one of the coolest like intro animations. All right, so we are here in the event. Real quick before we actually start, we can kind of talk about BROLY just real fast. Obviously he is a super bosses, transformation boost, full power leader. And then he's a key 3, 170%. He gives the additional 30% to exploding rage or movie bosses. On his 12 key super, he raises attack, raises the defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy. So on his 12 key, he stacks attack. On his 18 key, he greatly stacks attack. Then he greatly raises defense for 4 turns and causes mega colossal damage. On his passive, so we activated the entrance animation, so it happens automatically. It doesn't need anybody specific to activate it. You get 5 key, 100% attack and defense, and he launches an additional super attack for 4 turns from his entry turn. He gets 150% attack and defense, guards all attacks, gets an additional 1 key per key sphere obtained, gets an additional 50% attack when he performs a super, plus an additional 50% defense if it's an 18 key super. He gets 2 key and launches an additional super attack as the first or second attacker in the turn. And then he gets 6 key, launches an additional super attack, and has a high chance of launching another additional super attack as the third attacker in the turn. So my BROLY, we're going to have him right here. We got 1 link active right here with Kid Buu, which obviously we're going to throw him off. Kid Buu's not going to be our linking partner here. I kind of just brought him for support, but unfortunately we got both, leader BROLYs in turn 1. So right here, we are currently sitting at 325k defense, which is, not bad at all. So let's see what kind of attack stats we're going to get out of him. So we're starting at a 10.4. Again, we only got 1 link active. What I'm going to actually try to do is I'm going to pair him up with the, I'm going to try to do it both ways. I'm going to try to get him paired up with one of his like transform states in the domain, or because in the domain state, he shares 7 out of 7 links, or we brought the physical Dokkan Fest Broly because he shares 6 out of 7 links with the LR. Now, obviously, you know, he does actually have some pretty decent linking partners. Like, actually, the Tech Super Saiyan Broly, who doesn't have a EZA yet, once he EZAs and you get him transformed, I mean, they share 5 out of 7 links, which actually is not bad at all. And he should be on his team. I think he's on full power and he's movie bosses, so he should be getting the 200% from him. Yeah, he's on full power, so he's definitely going to get a full 200% from this Broly, which, interesting enough, we have to kind of wait. But see, that right there is what I mean. I wanted those crits to hit on those additionals. That's why I built him the way I built him. Now, this Broly does have a transformation, which is when he activates his domain. And when he does that, it raises Extreme Class Allies Ki by 4 for 4 turns. And then it can be activated from the 5th turn from the character's entry turn. So once we activate that domain, Extreme Class Allies and enemies get 10% attack and defense, plus an additional 10% attack and defense for characters who belong in Exploding Rage or Movie Bosses category, and then increases damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 10%. So the domains kind of have sometimes they kind of have a little bit of like a counter effect. Like sometimes they can be good and sometimes they might just actually be bad for you. And it really is kind of subjective, I guess, to whatever the content is at the time that you're doing. So you kind of have to pick and choose it's almost like you have to kind of pick and choose your battles and when you want to activate a domain or when you want to kind of push it off a little bit. So obviously we're going to want to get our domain out as fast as we can. So I am throwing the physical Broly off rotation. So that way when he comes back the next time, we'll be able to transform both Brolys right away. And we should be able to get, I think we should be able to get somebody on rotation with support too. So we can get like, you know, some pretty decent attack numbers and stuff out there. And we'll be able to see, you know, defense stats and everything like that too. It is a little unfortunate with this Broly though. Like he got an EZA and now he's pretty much fallen out of the meta. But I mean, hey, he's still doing pretty good damage right here. It's just he's a defensive liability, unfortunately. Okay, so we'll keep Kid Buu on rotation for now. Okay, so we're sitting here at 487k. I don't think, yeah, it's not gonna change much. So we're sitting at 487k defense, and that's obviously because we got the 18 key, so that greatly raised our defense for 4 turns. We'll go ahead and do this. So unfortunately we can see we didn't get the full 24 key, but because we're in slot 1, we're gonna get an extra 2 key at the start of the super, so we're gonna get a 24 key regardless. So popped off a, what was it, a 12.2 or a 12.4 mil attack stat. See, there's the crit that I wanted into an 8.5, which this is gonna probably crit as well. Let's see. Okay, so that one didn't crit. Then we go into an 8.9 now. We got to remember, he is stacking attack every single time that he supers. Okay, so he only attacked 3 times, you know. Unfortunately, I guess if I maybe put him in slot 3, we would have got an additional attack off or something. But, you know, it kind of is what it is. Okay, Kid Buu, pop off then. So next turn, we should be able to transform. Actually, let's do this. So we'll put BROLY here because BROLY actually will, he does guard, so we'll just leave him right here. We'll give you all of that, and then unfortunately for you, BROLY, you can't get the amount of, you can get 7 orbs, so we're not gonna put him anywhere in slot 1. So this one's also a rainbow friend. He's at 15.4. Now he is actually getting buffed by both Golden Frieza and the BROLY trio. So that's why he is actually, you know, sending out a much larger attack stat. Which honestly, like, this, it's good to see. You can kind of see the difference with, like, with massive support and without really much support. I mean, I can't say that Kid Buu isn't giving him a lot of support, because he is. But at the same time, like, we're getting a lot more support right here from, like, this specific rotation. Especially with Golden Frieza given, I think it's like 60% support to super bosses. And then we got the obvious massive support from BROLY, Chi and Lemo as well. So, I mean, we were juiced this round. Now, next turn is where we really want to see the numbers. Because next turn is where we can actually transform. And we'll have... yeah, we'll have the physical one transformed as well. So let's go ahead and we will pop the domain. So let's go ahead and play this really quick. All right, so now we've got the domain activated. So of course, you know, he is given 4 ki to the extreme allies. Again, we're getting extra 10% attack and defense. Plus we're getting an additional 10% attack and defense because we're in exploding rage and movie bosses technically. So we're getting 10% from being in one of those categories. And we are unfortunately going to take a little bit more damage by 10% because we are fighting a super class enemy. So if we put him here, I mean, we got 5 out of 7 links active. So the only one we don't have active is Berserker. But that can only be when we're under 50% HP. So unfortunately we're not getting that, but we are getting support from Kid Buu here. So we're sitting at 720k defense start of turn. Now, on 12 ki, we raise attack and defense for 1 turn while causing colossal damage to all enemies because it is an AoE attack. On his 18 ki, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn and causes mega colossal damage to the enemy. That is not an AoE. He gets 6 ki, 300% attack and defense, guards all attacks, gets an additional 1 ki per ki sphere obtained, which here doesn't matter because we're basically sitting at full 24 ki right off the get-go. He reduces damage received by 26% before he attacks while the domain is active. So we are getting we're getting 26% damage reduction right now. He gets an additional 50% attack when he attacks, plus an additional 50% defense when he receives an attack. So we're going to get hit. We're going to have our 26% damage reduction, and then we're going to get 50% defense on top of that for like the remainder of the turn. He launches an additional super attack guaranteed. He has a chance to perform a crit plus 26% when he performs a super. He launches an additional super attack with a chance of performing a crit plus 26% when he performs an ultra super attack. And then he launches another additional super when ki is 24. So he is getting his normal attack. He's getting an additional from being at 24 ki. He launches another additional super when he performs an ultra super. So that's 3 so far. Then he has a chance to, then he has the launching an additional super attack built in as passive. And then he can also get a hidden potential. So he can super up to 5 times, which a lot of characters probably won't live against like 5 super attacks from this guy. So we'll see here. Let's see how much damage we're actually gonna just kind of pop off right here. Okay, so there's the 50% defense we got. So 25.7 mil. Just not bad. Now we gotta remember, he has 4 guaranteed attacks here. So there's one. Here's the second one. And then we're gonna get a third. So here's a third attack. So 18.6 mil out of that. Then we're gonna get a fourth. And then if our hidden potential kicks in, then we can have a fifth. And then there's the fifth. So, I mean, right there, we probably did close to like 100 million worth of damage. Which is crazy to think about, you know? Yeah, especially 100, like almost 100 mil worth of damage. But this Goku, I mean, his damage reduction is like through the roof. Just because of the, because of just like how this fight is structured. He only really takes damage from tech type units. So this is actually a really good showcase stage for these units, because this Goku can hit still decently hard, but at the same time he doesn't take like any damage, so we can really test out units here. I mean, this Broly, you know, he's still good like damage wise. It's just defensively he's really a liability, unfortunately, like the Dokkan Fest one. Like if he gets super, I mean, we will take 10% more damage. We can't forget about that. We do take 10% more damage just from the simple fact that we are because we got this domain active right now. So the friend is at 422k, which is not bad. So we'll do it just like this. Zamasu should be okay, I'd assume. I think he's on Exploding Rage, maybe? Yeah, we're okay. I mean, he's also not built up. He's gotten like, I think he's only gotten hit like once, if that. See, yeah, so Zamasu's gonna do the most damage against this guy, or I guess this Goku, more than anybody else. Now, next turn, we will have the AGL, or I'm sorry, we'll have the Broly, Chila, and Lemo. So we'll be able to get, you know, give us a little bit of extra. Ooh, I think we actually could get another Link active. We should be able to get like legendary power active, actually. Oh man, we're not gonna finish this fight, and it's gonna be like, it's gonna be a wasted turn. Yeah, this is actually real unfortunate. Especially like this. Like this is just so bad right here. I really hate how this shaped up to be. I mean, we'll just, it's fine. We'll just grab all this. So we need to grab. So let's actually just grab this. Okay, so that did not fall the way I wanted it to. We'll just get the one STR orb to give us extra attack. There we go. So 28.7 million. Pretty good attack stat. I'm not gonna lie. It is very unfortunate because I did want to kind of juice that turn, but it didn't work out the way we needed it to. So I'll actually do this. I got a Sensu. We'll just pop this. It's fine. And we'll just do this, and Kid Buu, you can just kind of, you know, go with the flow here. I don't know if we'll actually finish the fight here or not, but I mean, we kind of saw, you know, we kind of saw like the main attack stats that this guy's going to be like sitting around typically, which, I mean, realistically, he is going to be sitting around that 25 to 30 million attack stats, depending on who he's linked up with. Now, like right here would actually be a very good turn if we don't kill him. If we can get the other Broly out, because we would have Berserker up, which would give us a 30% extra attack buff. I just don't know if Kid Boo's gonna live through these hits or not. Oh, yeah, we should be fine. Okay, so, well, that's also unfortunate because we don't have the domain up anymore, so we are missing out on the extra 10% or the extra 20% attack and defense. So yeah, we're sitting at 366k defense. This is with Frieza support. He's given 60% attack and 30% defense to super bosses category enemies, or allies, I should say. So let's give you just that. We should have, yeah, so we do have Berserker up here, so we, you know, attack wise, we should be okay. Oh, and we can get the Dokkan attack off too, so I guess we can pop that too. So yeah, we're sitting at 25 million. Unfortunately, we lost the extra 20% buff, and we don't have legendary power up either, so we're missing out on just a little bit extra attack there. But I mean, it's safe to say we kind of know how good this Broly is, how hard he hits. So yeah, I'd say Broly's very good. Yeah, definitely good damage there. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of Broly in a nutshell. He is good against the majority of content. In his base form, he can get caught, like if he doesn't, basically like if he doesn't super first and start like building up that little bit of defense right there. If he just gets super first turn, I mean, he's probably gonna die realistically. But if you can kind of get him, built up a little bit, then he can be actually a very good, like, powerful weapon. Especially in a lot of these like newer fights that like the JP version just got recently, especially like against Goku and Frieza and stuff like that. This Broly actually does work pretty well. So there you guys go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys pulled for Broly, and if you did you get him, you know, rainbowed 55%? Did you keep him at 79%? Just kind of let me know down in the comments what you guys ended up with. And if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. And if you're new here, subscribe as well. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.